So imagine this Irish cops investigating Irish cops about how they investigated a murder. Yeah, it's as messy as it sounds. It's like watching someone trip over their own shoelaces, then stop, tie them wrong again, and call it progress. Alright, let's lay out the characters nice and simple, like lining up suspects in a bad soap opera. First up, Michael Gaine. He was 56, a farmer from Kenmare, County Kerry. This guy wasn't some shadowy figure hiding in the background. Everyone knew him. He loved his rally cars, his community, his land, and then gone. His disappearance rocked the place, and when the truth surfaced, it only got uglier. Then there's Tina Satchwell from Youghal, County Cork. Now she's not directly tied to Michael's story, but her case is like the dark little echo in the corner. Because what happened with her is basically exhibit A for why these reviews are even happening. Her disappearance turned into one of Ireland's biggest embarrassments for the guards, and it hangs over this whole thing like a warning sign. And finally, Drew Harris, the commissioner of the guards, the man at the top. He's the one who came out and said, hey, we're gonna run a peer review, which sounds fancy but really just means cops grading cops on how they looked for bodies, in a case that is still alive, still raw, and still unsolved in a lot of ways. That is wild. Here's the thing, a peer review in a live murder case is about as rare as a pint that actually costs less than a fiver in Dublin. It just doesn't happen. Normally, peer reviews are the tidy little post-mortem of an investigation. The case is wrapped up, suspects are either behind bars or free to walk, and the guards pat themselves on the back while saying, well, let's see what we can learn for next time. But here, no closure, no clean ending, just a mess of unanswered questions, and in the middle of that chaos, the guards decide to stop and check their own work. Imagine a surgeon pausing halfway through open heart surgery to say, hold on lads, let's review what we've done so far. That's the energy this gives off. And the unspoken bit, peer reviews are usually quiet in-house, not publicized. This one got announced, loudly, almost like they were trying to reassure people, don't worry, we're looking into ourselves. Which is funny, because if you need to tell everyone you're investigating yourself, that usually means trust is already in the bin. Confidence crisis? Absolutely. You can almost hear the collective sigh across Ireland. People are sitting there thinking, wait, if you need a review while the case is still live, how much did you mess up the first time? So here's the ugly truth. In Michael Gaine's case, the farm was searched top to bottom. The guards combed through the fields, the yard, the outbuildings. They said they cleared it. Everyone breathed a little easier, thinking at least nothing was hiding there. But then, weeks later, slurry gets spread, samples are taken, and suddenly, the remains of Michael Gaine show up in the slurry tank. The very thing they said they checked. You can't make this stuff up. It's like losing your car keys, turning your house upside down for hours, and then finding them sitting on the kitchen counter the whole time. And this isn't just about missing a wallet under the couch cushions. This is a murder case, families waiting for answers, communities shaken, and the official search missed the one spot that actually mattered. It raises the obvious question, how thorough was this search? Because if you say you looked everywhere and then the body shows up exactly where you supposedly looked, that's not just a small slip-up. That's the kind of mistake that makes people lose faith in the entire investigation. And remember, this isn't even the first time. In Tina Satchwell's case, the house was searched more than once, and yet her remains were eventually found under the stairs in her own home. Under the stairs, that's not a needle in a haystack, that's a door you walk past every single day. So now we've got two major murder cases in Ireland with the same embarrassing thread searches that didn't find what they were supposed to. Which is why this peer review isn't just paperwork. It's a question of whether the guards even know how to run a proper search in the first place. And the worst part, these failures aren't just technical errors. They drag out the suffering of families, they let communities stew in confusion, and they give suspects more time to twist the story. Every mistake has a cost, and here the cost is massive. So after all this, what's the big plan? The guards are going to finish their little peer review and then hand in a shiny report, and who gets to read it? The Minister for Justice, Jim O'Callaghan, plus the brand new Policing and Community Safety Authority. That's the watchdog that took over from GSOC, the Garda Síochána Ombudsman Commission. Except now it's got a new name, Fiosru. Fancy rebrand, same job, keep an eye on the cops. It's being led by Emily Logan, who's supposed to make sure this doesn't turn into another "we'll learn lessons" speech that no one believes. The idea is more oversight, more accountability. The reality? Another thick stack of paperwork that gets filed away until the next scandal blows up. Here's the weirdest part. This review isn't just about Michael Gaine. It's bundled in with other cases like Tina Satchwell's. So the same people who missed bodies in two different investigations are now writing notes on themselves like, "must try harder next time." Imagine if students could write their own report cards. "Johnny tried his best, but math was really hard this year." That's exactly the vibe. And the public? They're supposed to wait for this report to come out and magically restore their faith. As if a few official paragraphs can erase the fact that the body was missed in a tank. As if families grieving for years will suddenly say, "Oh, never mind, they filed a review, all good now." The spin is all about learning. Learning new strategies, learning from mistakes. But here's the blunt truth: when the mistake is, we didn't find the victim's body where it actually was, what's left to learn? You either searched properly or you didn't. It's not advanced science, it's basic police work. So the "what's next" looks more like damage control than justice. A review to calm headlines, a report to hand to politicians, and a lot of hope that people forget how badly the first searches went. And here's where it all comes full circle. These peer reviews are meant to fix the system, to prove that the guards can learn from their mistakes. They're supposed to be the safety net, the big reset button, the thing that restores trust. But think about it for a second. What if the biggest lesson isn't what they found, but what they didn't? What if the whole story of Michael Gaine and Tina Satchwell is less about murder investigations and more about the failures baked into the system? Two different cases years apart, and in both of them the same thing happened: bodies missed in places that should have been checked properly. It's haunting because every time a new disappearance happens in Ireland, people will quietly wonder, are the guards really looking, or are they going to miss it again? That seed of doubt is planted now, and you don't just erase that with a report or a press conference. The irony is brutal. Families go through hell waiting for answers, communities rally in grief, and the official response is to grade their own work like it's a school project. "We'll do better next time." Except there shouldn't have been a next time. Not after Tina, not after Michael. So when the report lands on the minister's desk, polished and professional, it'll say all the right words: accountability, oversight, lessons learned. But for the families left behind, the sound they'll hear is not reassurance. It's the echo of footsteps on a farmyard or creaks under the stairs in an empty house, reminders of what was missed, and the haunting thought that maybe, just maybe, it could happen again.